Oh, I wish you guys could smell these beautiful flowers on these ornamental crabapple trees that are growing in the backyard. They're so sweet. They're so awesome right now. I just needed a couple minutes of your time as an introduction to the June readings for all signs. It's my pleasure to bring them to you once again. I hope you enjoy them. But I had to throw in a little just disclaimer saying that, yeah, the readings are for entertainment purposes only. If you have situations, maybe you need to go see a doctor of some fashion, this is not to be taken as medical advice. This is to be used for entertainment purposes. So as the channel description says, be enlightened, be entertained, but most of all, be yourself. If you are needing a little bit of extra helping hand, please go and seek professional assistance from somebody that can get you to a place where you're feeling good and strong and as beautiful as these crabapple trees are. Okay, thanks guys. Enjoy your readings.
Hello, Virgo. Guess what is your go? And by that I mean it's your turn for this June general reading. Thank you for joining me and clicking in once again to this little YouTube channel. I really appreciate every time you guys come and connect and check out these readings. That's really awesome. I couldn't do it without you guys. I'm really glad that you're here and checking it out. Yeah, this is just kind of opening up with you guys. You're fourth in line this go around, but I got you going on in the morning, so just one candle lit, a lot of natural light coming in the room, and just kind of really feeling it, wanting to get down to business to know what's going on, what are the messages. That's what's going on, what are the messages for Virgo. I didn't even have to say Virgo, and the deck started to spit out the Ace of Pentacles and the Hangman. So some of you waiting on news about a new job, some of you waiting on news about a career change, or unfortunately some of you may have just been laid off and now you're kind of exercising your minds in terms of where do we go from here, which way is up, and where do we turn now to look for inspiration through work. So my condolences if you've just lost your job or if you're feeling stuck in your work at present time. To me, the Hangman is the card of fate. And Ace of Pentacles usually is a card that regards new business endeavors, entrepreneurship, and even new employment. It can also mean the beginning of anything that is inspiring, anything that is kind of gobbling up your time that you like kind of delve headfirst into, sort of thing with Ace of Pentacles energy. So those were your flippers and poppers, Virgo. And yeah, again, thanks for subscribing. Subscribers know we're going to look at the 7 chakras, each represented with a card. We'll use clarifiers if we have to find out what are the healing messages, what are the stuck energies, and what are the healing messages for Virgo here in June 2017. This is for Virgo, June 2017. And you guys, whenever you're checking out this reading, if it's just at the tail end of May, or maybe it's like late June that you're viewing it, whatever time you're seeing it is definitely the right time for you. I believe in sort of like every molecule in its place, every moment in time leading to a new particular moment in time, and everything is just right so that we can take in all that we need to and we can have all that we want. So I hope you are all in a place of abundance, joy, bliss, and comfort at present time. If not, we're going to look at trying to get you there. That's my intention for this reading. What is your intention for the reading? Please set it now, and we'll look at the bottom of the deck. And for the overall energy, we have Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So the Knight of Pentacles is someone that is moving through the element of the material world. This is someone that is maybe not overly concerned with like matters of heart, matters of spirit. The Knight of Pentacles is someone that really, their knowledge is based in the 5 senses. Their whole journey at present moment is based in the 5 senses. What they can see, what they can touch, etc., is very important to this person right now. So usually when I have Knight of Pentacles, I'm usually inspired to say that there's children somehow involved in a situation or in the reading at some point. Because Knight of Pentacles is a slow-moving energy, okay? And you kind of, I'm always the type of reader ask, well, why is it a slow moving energy? I can pull the card and say, well, it's slow moving energy, but we want to know why, right? And when I see it, well, what grounds you more in terms of your 5 sentences in the material world than parents looking after children, and children being the stability, the purpose of life for many people, as they move through domestic bliss, and they move through, getting a mortgage, getting a couple cars, getting the kids off to school, making sure everybody has something nice to wear for spring and fall and that kind of thing, which is real Knight of Pentacles energy. And for some of you, I have a feeling like when we look at those cards that popped out of the deck, this could also be a reference to you guys really being wise. There's a lot of like knowledge and wisdom that you guys are maybe going to have to just kind of slow down on any extra spending that you may normally do due to the fact that you're budgeting for unforeseen circumstances, or that you're budgeting due to some sort of career change, as represented by that Ace of Pentacles. Okay, now that we see the Knight here, we may see some behavior adjustments in regards to consumerism as it goes through, as we go through spring. Okay, so yeah, just no overspending. I don't see. You guys aren't rushing out to like dump your paycheck off at something that you're going to have nothing to show for it at the end of the day, and maybe some serious planning into sort of long-term budgets, long-term goal setting, and how it applies to your purse strings, to your pocketbook. Okay? Knight of Pentacles. So, neither good nor bad. It is just an energy saying that we are slowing down. We are putting the important things first, and we are addressing them first when it comes to our senses of security. Okay? Wow, guys. Pentacles up everywhere. In the grounding energy, now we have 5 of Pentacles. All right. Did some of you guys just absolutely maybe get pissed off at the boss and say, F it, Charlie, I'm out of here. I'm leaving this job. I'm going to do something else that I want to do. 5 of Pentacles is a card showing that resources are very much a concern. And I got that feeling like even after the poppers came out of the deck, then we looked at Knight of Pentacles. Now it's reaffirmed here in the root chakra. For some Virgos checking in, this is going to be the center plot line of this reading. This resource base, like, is there more money coming? When are we going to see an improvement to our finances? And when is, sort of the Scrooge going to leave us alone in terms of not being able to, be as frivolous as normally sometimes we like to be? Not to say you guys are frivolous, but that balance of being frivolous versus being frugal is kind of like, it's constantly ongoing. And right now it's kind of showing that the scales are tipping towards like the needing to be rather frugal side. And that may lead to situations where maybe you can't go out and be as social as you want. A lot of readers say this card is left out in the cold. I don't know, maybe because in the Rider-Waite deck it's snowing in this card. I don't know. I live in the snow. Cold doesn't really bother me. If this does pertain to a social situation, the only thing I can see is that I know Virgos were going through energy where they were kind of having to mind their tongue in terms of speaking too quickly, and other people were kind of like quickly judging them just kind of based on, the fact that you guys can be very forthright sometimes in, knowing which direction you're going. If it doesn't suit somebody else's agenda, then you're apt to say, okay, well, you just sit there. I'm going to go do my thing, right? That sort of thing. So in the day-to-day energy, I just have a feeling that you guys are maybe like kind of isolating a bit. You may not be as social as you want, but again, this is due to the physical reality. This is due to our tastes in life and our budgeting, right? Our 5 Pentacles. If anything, this is kind of be like a lack mentality, feeling like you don't have enough, feeling like ends aren't going to meet at the end of the month. Am I going to have enough for insurance, rent, electricity bill, all those kinds of things may be worrying you at present time. My advice with this 5 Pentacle card in your day-to-day, same as my advice was in this Knight of Pentacles card, right? Slow the energy down. Just take the moments as they come. Make sure your fridge is full with whatever it needs to sustain your nutrition. Make sure that the landlord is happy or maybe willing to accommodate with your situation, or work can accommodate your situation. Now is a time it's kind of risky, I feel, to be asking for a raise, even if you may be feeling that you want one, or you may say you're going to quit if you don't get one, kind of thing. Virgo, I know you guys have been working really hard through the first part of 2017, but I just really want to say here, don't give up. And if you're looking for a job, don't be afraid to take maybe something that at one point in time maybe have been a little bit beneath you. Maybe, you know, not being a VP of marketing and then going down to like some sort of like sales job where you're being more social and you're meeting more people is kind of what Source and the doctor, the proverbial doctor, has ordered here kind of for you guys. And if this is perhaps your test. So Five of Pentacles in the day-to-day energy, make sure you guys are eating well, taking care of yourself, make sure that your bills are paid, and don't wallow. This is not the time for wallowing. If you are worried, if you've got things, maybe you need to get up. Maybe you need to go start speaking with financial advisors, extended family, people of this nature, so that your worry does not overcome you and start affecting your health, okay? Not a great card to see there, Five Pentacles, but important nonetheless to address those sorts of energies, okay? All right, moving up. Sacral chakra, we have death. Okay, so all of this could be happening for a lot of you. This is positive now, because for a lot of you, these money troubles, this work situation that is maybe potentially is drawn to a close for you, has really caused some of you to maybe sort of change your ideas about what it's meant to use time as a commodity in your life. Are you just really working for the system? Are you satisfied like working for the man, punching a clock, and doing that sort of thing for the majority of your life? If there's kids here in this situation, if you've got kids to think about, yes, of course you're going to do that. But I think that the universe is testing you here through potential money woes and job shakeups and career changes to really get you guys creatively inspired. Like, decorating your home and going out and like surrounding yourself with, you know, comfortable and you know, aesthetically pleasing things is really good to decorate your environment. But at some point in time, we want to get down to the nitty gritty of creating. We want to get down to be able to say, all right, there's a side of me that's logical, analytical, and has everything in its place. But there's also a side of you that really just needs to let loose. You need to like take those hair bands out of your hair. Just give your head like a full-on shake and say, rip your top off and just start painting colors on a piece of paper and say, this is my healing energy. This is my spirit wanting to break free, wanting to be a part of the creative process, right? And I'm telling you guys, some finger paints and a canvas at the dollar store, $5.99 is dirt cheap. And then once you really get going, or once things pick up for you, maybe the decisions you're needing to make in regards to career, maybe you're just so uncertain right now that it's got to come out in some sort of creative form. You can go and like yell and scream in front of the mirror, or bang your head on the drywall all you want and say, woe was me. But death card up in the sacral area is saying, we need to transform our creative sense of ourself. There needs to be some sort of waking up or uplifting of our creative side in order to change or shift the energies around us. Everything is ebb and flow. Everything arises and subsides in our environment. We know that. Even certain things about ourselves and our emotional well-being and our sexuality, they will arise and subside, ebb and flow. So when we can get in tune with those energies and those frequencies, we can then use them to our creative advantage. When we're feeling inspired, but there's nothing to do, or we can't afford to go out to do what we normally would do when we were inspired, we have to like take the lid off the box of whatever that is in your life that is new and that has the potential to get you creating again, okay? Because death is the card of transformation and, to me, creation, right? In the yin and yang of it all, in the ebb and flow of it all, there is no death without creation, and there is no creation without death. Some of you may be like putting to bed that side of yourself that was like a complete like penny pinching prudish type energy, and you're just like, maybe you've lost a few friends and you said, well, you know, and it's that way because, you know, you weren't able to let loose. You weren't able to say, okay, you know, I'm not going to go climbing or kayaking with my friends because that's going to cost, you know, $180, and I have to keep my bank appointment, or whatever it might be applied to your situation. But you know the message I'm trying to drive home. At least I hope you can connect with that. Okay, Virgo? All right, let's move up into the solar plexus chakra. See what's going on. Two of Wands reverse. Yes, so for some of you, this is not easy. Some of you have the feeling, the instinctual knowledge that you need to get this done, that this shift needs to come. You need to put it in second gear, so to speak, or you're going to redline the old car, right? You won't be able to move forward. You won't be able to get over the hurdles that you're currently facing without some sort of conviction, without some sort of Disciplined decision making, I think, with this Two of Wands reverse. Two of Wands reverse is an excellent card in terms of being resourceful and manifesting the something new in your life by using the energy and the knowledge of around you. But when it's like this, it's almost like there is still a hill yet to be climbed, and it's within yourself of deciding, well, what is important to you? What is it that you want to attain? Okay? If it's material and financial wealth, Virgo, in this lifetime, it's going to be tough because you may find there are many obstacles because we're in a year one, and what source and what the universe really wants is for our spiritual sides to become uplifted, to become engaged in like sort of seeing beyond the veil of that which the older generations have created for us in terms of you must go to university, you must have a six-figure job, you must drive an Audi, that kind of thing, which still comes through today in our advertising. The 2017, the year one, is kind of like the feminine energy wanting to say, okay, I want to wake up for you guys to appreciate the way a tree grows, the way everything greens up in the spring. And I want, like a running river right now, is important to you to sort of assess how important all of the momentum, the flow of life, the frequencies, the energies that exist all around yourself and everybody else and the animals and the plants, how that all is sort of working together as one, and become inspired from that. So it's kind of a paradigm shift. It's kind of a shift in thinking, right? Some of you, I'm not going to take away from it or belittle it. If you guys are worried about money, it's easy for me to sit here and say, well, it's time to start painting. Don't worry about the fact that you're in the red or that you're in your bank overdraft, right? That's, you guys, it's not very fair to me to sit and say that, right? Especially if you've got kids to feed and things like this. But Two of Wands is saying, all right, we need to somehow get creative to find a way to make sure our bases are covered and make sure that our security is there for us, okay? If we're having trouble moving forward, the energy is slow around us. We don't necessarily need to move forward, but we need to find a creative solution in order to sort of open up sort of a magical hidden doorway, if you will, of something we haven't thought of before, in order so that we can, take a deep breath and just know that everything is going to be all right. That kind of energy. So Two of Wands, get your thinking caps on, guys. I know this showed up in solar plexus, but solar plexus is like intuition. It's your gut instinct. So we need to put our sort of intuitive thinking caps on in terms of saying, okay, well, what can we really do to save money, to earn extra money for the family, and to do it somewhat creatively, okay? Maybe you're branching out. Maybe you have sort of a talent that, you haven't tapped into for a long time, and maybe you can just say, all right, well, maybe we'll just hop onto Craigslist or Kijiji here and tap into a second-hand economy, maybe turning over office furniture or something, whatever, apply it to your situation. Find a creative way to get some more security around you in these lower chakras, because it's a little bit unsettling, it's a little bit unnerving, even though there's this powerhouse, this transformation that's coming in terms of your creativity. Virgo, I want to make sure you're happy and healthy enough to be able to embrace that, okay? Whoa. And now we have the Strength card reversed up in Heart of Hearts. One of the other signs had this card here as well. I think it may have been Cancer. But for you, Virgo, we've got the Strength card reversed here. So what is it that you're telling yourself? What is it in terms of this self-esteem, self-security type situation around you that's got you feeling so bound here? What is that old saying? The opinions of others are sheep to the wolves, or I can't remember how the saying goes. It's kind of like, if you worry that other people are kind of turned off by you right now, F them. Just walk away for the time being. The times will change. Like I said, everything's at ebb and flow. And this is a time where I feel you guys will be separating fake friends from real friends, right? You'll be back to the amount of people that you can count on one hand, that, or maybe up to 8 people that you're close, you don't want to lose, you can rely, you can depend on them, you can trust them, versus people that are there just in your peripheral. They're just kind of friends that are there for the sake of spending their time, or chitter chatter, that kind of thing, where at the end of the day, if you ever ask them for a solid or for a big favor, they would turn tail and run, right? I feel like a lot of you in your heart, you may be evaluating who your true friends are here in June. And it could just be one of those things where it's like, if somebody's talking about you behind your back, or if somebody's like kind of, being nice to you one moment, like when you're in a one-on-one situation, and then as soon as you're in a group of four or more, they kind of turn their nose up at you in front of the group. Those people are a-holes, and you don't really want to have anything to do with them. And don't be afraid to like tell that person what you're feeling, or to call that person out for that. This strength card in reverse is telling me that, and especially in the heart of heart, that we need to do a little bit more affirmations. We need to tell ourselves a little bit that we are important, that we are beautiful, that we are strong, that we can make it through whatever life is dealing with us right now. Because let's look at it, right? How important is it what other people are doing and what other opinions are of you right now? Probably not very, unless it's your lover, unless it's your children. If someone's losing faith in you, or if you're losing faith in yourself, saying, well, I just can't change. I've always been this way. I don't want to like come out of my shell. I don't want to come out of my bubble. You know what? Eventually you're going to get forced out of your bubble, right? Or eventually one day your kids are going to say like, you know what, mom or dad, you haven't been dating, or you haven't seemed like yourself lately, or you're always seeming a little bit moody. And then that'll be your clue to be like, oh my goodness, like sometimes we just have to come out of that. We have to find the strength to come out of our comfort zone. And when it shows up in the heart chakra, it's definitely a comfort bubble thing. Because this is in the heart is where like our energy shield is generated. It's like, for Star Wars fans will love this, the heart is your shield generator. It actually projects and emits like this bulbous, like a bubble aura energy around you. And it's unseen. It happens unconsciously. It just happens in the 5D. And if that is ever compromised, then you kind of leave yourself open to like these willy-nillys, or these guys that want to just kind of like, use you for the sake of using you, or, treat you bad so that they can feel better. You ever have that person that just like, will put you down at the drop of the hat just so that they can look better in front of other people, but at the same time, when they're like one-on-one with you, then they're just like they're all buddy up in your face? I don't get it, right? But have the strength to recognize this, Virgo. Have the strength to call this out, and have the strength when you wake up in the morning to stop at that mirror, and stop for like a good 5 minutes. I'm not talking like 2 seconds. I'm not talking 20 seconds to be like, I'm okay, I'm on my way. Let's tell ourselves that we love ourselves, that we're worthy, that we haven't stumbled into this life just on circumstance or chance, but that there's actually purpose, there's actually meaning in what each and every step that we take out there. And this has got to come through some like creative or inspirational breakthrough, I feel, Virgo. There's got to be something that has happened, or something that you do that you're just going to like say, I've had it. I've got to do something, or it's going to continue on this way, and I don't want to like be in this downward spiral. I don't like this feeling of not feeling strong enough to be in my power, or not having enough money to do the things I want to do, or just always being stuck in the same ways of thinking that are not inspiring. Okay? So here we go. We've got fulfillment. We've got the harvest. This is definitely what I mentioned, is cutting people out of your life, right? And do it assertively, right? Not physically, but like do it assertively, right? And then here we've got sort of the Disneyland tower here, where it's like it's dark on this side, light on this side, right? So get in touch with yourself. Find that inner part of yourself. And once you do, watch how it mirrors in terms of how you're feeling, your actual complexion in your face when you look in the mirror, how much that inner work, when we go in and do this inner work, it mirrors into our outside reality, into our environment, our physical person. And for some of you, this might be like a dark night of the soul type energy. This might be like energy where you just like absolutely break down and maybe like, I don't know, you're going to let it all out, and you're going to just sort of reach that sort of rock bottom stage of exasperation, and then from which we can begin to wake up and be in touch with our inner selves. It starts with breathing, it starts with your prana, and it just builds and builds from there. Get into some meditation, get into some healing channels and people that are out there to spread a message of healing, okay? All right, we got to move on. Readings get long, but I wish you all the best in this. Now, Nine of Pentacles, reversed. Okay, more Pentacles. this is up in your communication. Maybe this does involve switching up social circles, willing to leave people behind, and willing to have the strength to embrace new people, to get new monies coming in, or to get a new creative endeavor. Maybe some of you are just like kind of at that stage where you're in between jobs and you're just not sure what to do next, but you're kind of, this energy is like you're going it alone. I haven't seen a lot of like dual people in this energy or in this reading, right? This is more like single Virgo type energy. And now with Nine of Pentacles reversed up in communication, it's almost like this inner strength moving upward. It's like we're going to need to find the strength. Some of you may be swallowing your pride to take maybe a little bit of a lower paying job, maybe even if it's just for a little while, right? Maybe if you feel like there's more money going out as opposed to money coming in, maybe from demands of older children or demands just of the family structure in itself. We need to talk to somebody. We need to start communicating. Nine of Pentacles up in reverse in the throat chakra means that this chakra is kind of maybe stalled out as well. This chakra might not be fully open. We may not be admitting to ourselves that we need help. We may not, and even if we are knowing that we need some help, we may just not know where to go to find it, and so that we're not feeling like, we're going to be stuck or we're going to be in debt forever kind of thing. This card, some of you could be carrying large amounts of debt, and you're just kind of uncertain of the best way to go about it, or if you have to call in somebody to help you out. Now, I'm going to ask for a couple clarifiers for that card. Nine of Pentacles is single energy, and it's reversed, so it's kind of, I'm taking that as the extreme of single energy, the extreme of like some of you may just not be wanting to face the day anymore. I hope that if any of you are like really depressed, that you go out and get some help. As you've seen at the start of the video, I put on the disclaimer that I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, any of that these readings are for entertainment purposes only. But when they make people aware and when they enlighten people, and this energy is not going to apply for every Virgo that's out there. I find my readings are for the 2 or 3 people that ultimately need them the most, and then they have trickle-down effects in terms of their messages that come for them. So if this is not applying to you, hopefully you turned the video off long ago. But if this is applying to you, just know that there are certain community support groups. There are people that are out there that are wanting to lend a hand, and you may just be you may have always been the type of person where it's like, I don't need that. I don't need that, right? That's not for me. I've always been stronger than that. Well, you know what? At some point, everybody comes to a point where they accept some sort of help from somebody, right? All right. Well, there's the Hanging Man again, and this is up from this Gilded Tarot. So this is one of the cards that flipped out earlier, and that's why maybe he flipped out, is to say, all right, whatever you're feeling is faded here. Communication is going to be the key to getting you unchained from your situation where you're perceiving that you're stuck. Just because somebody is a jerk to you when you try to express yourself, or they've been turned off by your expressions or by your reaching out, doesn't mean that everybody else is going to be. The Hangman says you maybe have to try some new faces, some new people, and some new ways, institutions of going about solving your problems. You almost need to make a clean break from whatever stale environment that has been holding you down, has been chaining you down, right? Because look at this, this is down on the ground, face half hidden kind of energy. This is face fully hidden, going deep within to find some inspiration, right? And these are this guy can't move forward because he's stuck, right? And this person, again, is trying to find the strength to move forward. So we need to find whatever it is in our environment that is chaining us down, that is holding us back. And because you're the only one that can bust these shackles off, Virgo. Nobody else is going to come along and do it for you. But if you talk to other people about what you're going through, they could give you the power, the inspiration to help you bust those shackles for yourself, okay? Shackles and Sheckles. Maybe that's the title of this video here, because maybe we're seeing money as the be-all, end-all, and we need to shift that consciousness so that money can start flowing in again, right? So we're not, okay. Third eye, the Tower. All right, Virgo, these have not been the best cards so far for you in June. I'm not going to sugarcoat any of it. Some of you may just need to completely revamp, reevaluate where you're at in life, where you've come to this point in life, and where you're headed, right? We all come into this life as in diapers, and we all leave this life in diapers, kind of thing. And that's what this tower, I'm sorry to make light of it that way, but this tower card is really saying that, right? From cradle to grave, nobody has dominion over your life except for you. If you build a foundation, no one else is at fault if that foundation crumbles away. The life you built is the life you chose. You have done the actions you've taken based on the thoughts, the decisions that you've made. So the tower up in third eye chakra is saying, like, if we want to change that, we've got to be aware of these types of energies, that it starts and it ends with you, and that your thoughts ultimately create this reality, this mirroring effect of what it is that's around us. If we don't have enough money, well, we ask ourselves, why is that? Or we search within to figure out, am I cursed? Or does the universe not like me? Blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it's going to be like, well, every decision you have made has led to this particular moment in time. You don't have to beat yourself up saying, oh my God, I lived 35 years of making bad decisions because now I'm like one paycheck away from losing everything that I have. Don't beat yourself up in that nature. Just saying that every time we're at risk of losing our foundations and losing what it is that we've worked towards building and gaining, it means it's time for a new start. It means it's time to hit the reset button, right? Remember when the old Nintendo would freeze up and just go, and you'd actually like have to shut the power off, and you'd like curse and swear, and then like you'd like give it a little shake, and you'd start all again from the beginning. And at first it was like, yeah, this is shitty, this sucks. But by the end of it, you're like, wow, I didn't realize that before. Or I didn't realize I could go there before. I didn't realize I had the potential to do this before. And it all comes from letting go of old established ways of thinking and doing things. And with a fresh start, that's when the mind is really inspired to start seeing things in new ways and digging up new information that is always been present in our environment. And you always wonder, well, why is that person so blessed, or why is that person so happy? It's because they at one point in time learned to see it, and now maybe you're going through that same thing as well. All right? Okay, moving on, Virgo. Tough cards, but look up here at the very top. Ace of Wands, right? Look, the card of new beginnings. We just said it. This is it. Crown chakra. Praise sweet baby Jesus, Brahma or Buddha or Muhammad, whoever you're into. I just use it as an expression. Hopefully it's not too in vain for some of you. I want you all to feel comfortable. I took the skull away from the desk I had on there for Cinco de Mayo May readings because it's making people uncomfortable. I just want people to be comfortable, especially like when the cards come up a little shitty. And, you know, my hat's off to whatever it is you're going through. I know it's not easy, but I'm glad you turned here to like be inspired, put a little smile on your face. I'm really happy that you joined me here. And look, Source, the card from the crown chakra, which is what comes in from Source, how we connect to our higher self and the universe, has shown us Ace of Wands. And how beautiful is Ace of Wands in saying that, you know, there's never too dark, right? There's always some sort of talisman in terms of our own inspiration, our own moments of aha. These dark nights of the soul and these like deep inner workings to like start fresh, to start anew and cut things, having the strength to cut things out of our life. Once this work happens, it's like chiseling out a rock, and there's a bright, shining, glowing light that's just been like crusted over and rusted over for years of just like doing it for the sake of doing it, walking through the earthly plane, the mentality of like maybe living paycheck to paycheck for 20 years has just got you like, what the fuck, right? And then when you start doing this inner work, you start chiseling away at this rock, which is like this, you know, crusted energy that's over top of perhaps your heart chakra or your pineal gland that's maybe all calcified up. Once you start getting in and researching and doing the work, the meditating, the breathing, all that it takes, you start to see little flickers of this light, and it comes and it gets brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. At one point, and then it just like comes like all off, and it's like a blinding light that now you have like, oh my goodness, This is what I've been missing for all this time. This is where it's at. And you'll shake your head in laughter. Hindsight is always 20/20, right, Virgo? You'll shake your head in laughter. You'll be like, I can't believe I lived my life like that for 10 years. But at the end of the day, you'll do it with a sense of jovial, like, oh my goodness, it's okay now because I get it. I see it, right? That sort of thing. Okay, so we got a couple Oracle cards coming from the Enchanted Map Oracle deck and the Oracle of Wisdom cards. I got a new Oracle deck. So everybody's getting 2 Oracle takeaway messages. My heart goes out to you, Virgo. This was a tough reading. This one is like, how do I deliver these messages of like, just tell these bums and whatever it is in your environment that's got you shackled down, let's move forward from it. Let's start to get it on. Let's start to like actively take the steps to getting away from it, whatever it is, right? We're cutting it out of our life. All right, so up from Enchanted Map, you have number 48, Wishing Well. It's kind of interesting. Like the aura of these cards, like everything has this sort of yellowy, greeny type, except for this Tower card was a little bit more violet and blue. But Virgo, these like earthly colors of yellow and green have really been popping out of these cards here in this reading. And I feel like this is something here between solar plexus and heart chakra. Something is going to occur where you're going to be discipline yourself to find the strength to go out and do something. The wishing well is great, but eventually after you drop your penny or your nickel into the wishing well and you make your wish, you can only stay at wishing well so long before you walk away. So it's like, it's very important and a reminder for me as a reader to say, yes, set your intention for the future. Write down those goals, those 5 or 6 goals, and then put them away. Think about them only for a brief moment each day. Don't obsess over them or dwell on these goals or on these fulfillment wishes. What you do is you set the intention of having that in your life, then you let it go. Then that's when you turn your back to the wishing well, you walk away, and you're hit with that realization of, okay, some of these things, if it's purely fantasy, then we just wish for it, right? But if it's something that's attainable in the 3D plane, well, you know what? The wishing well is behind us. We've set our intention. We're walking away from it. So what is it time to do now? It's time to carry the water. It's time to chop the wood. It's time to do the work that it takes to get there, right? We can never be at a point where we just wish for something and then wallow in the obsession over it. We have to set the intention, walk away, do the work, and it's baby steps, literally. Like, we're not just going to go out and change the world in a day. We're going to change the teeny tiny little things that we can in ourselves, and then that's going to lead to bigger steps each and every, like, along the way. It's kind of like a 2-minute meditation. That's easy to do, right? And that leads into something more where you're discovering something, or maybe you're a smoker and you start cutting out one smoke here or one smoke there, and then eventually that leads you to a desire of being like, I'm over it. You know what? I'm done with it, right? All right, the Wisdom of the Oracle has given you card number 19, Flexible. And yes, be flexible. Be willing to take that job that maybe you think like, oh, maybe it's a step down, or your family or your friends will think less of you because you're not at the same level of status or prestige through your career. That's being flexible within yourself. And as well, when we're talking about those little things you can do, let's get into our bodies. Let's get out of our minds and into our bodies. We didn't have much for swords up in this reading, but I have a feeling like a lot of this, you always in a tarot reading, you ask what's not there, right? And when you do that, like we didn't have any cups and we didn't have any swords, right? So heart and mind was absent. So in terms of this flexibility, maybe here what we're doing here is we've got to get out of our mind a little bit and back into our body. And we do this through physically actually stretching ourselves, feeling our muscles, feeling in our fingers and toes, and making it part of our routine, right? Flexibility means coming out of regimented ways of thinking things, doing things, living our lives to say, you know what, I'm going to give yoga a chance. I'm going to do it 15 minutes a day, 3 days a week. And you know what, maybe it's going to feel good. Maybe it's going to hurt a little bit for the first little while. But I trust me, you guys, after you get into these new, healthier things that you find out and you research about, and maybe you go seek out some help from some kind of counseling or doctor or something that might be playing you, or financial advisor, you're going to feel a lot better, and you're going to feel so glad that you did. Okay? Virgo, this was a tough message to deliver. I only want the best for you guys, and I want you guys to move past any kind of BS energy that's hitting you from the external. Go within, find that strength, love yourself, know that I love you guys, and we'll see you all next time.